In this video, we are going to discuss how we find properties. So whether it's an apartment, mobile home park, office space, whatever it may be, I am going to break down our system and our target market for the properties that we're currently searching for. But before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Carter and I'm one of the owners of Century Investment Group. And we are a small firm that buys, as you can see, apartments, mobile home parks, office space, whatever it may be, in essence, cash flowing real estate. So how do we go about finding the properties that we purchase? What sorts of properties are we looking for? And that is what I'm going to break down. So generally speaking, I have it written out on the board, and this is a very broad perspective on the actual detail that we go down into when we're looking at potential properties. So we are looking for apartment buildings 10 to 50 units and mobile home parks 10 to 75 units. Now, why these specific numbers? Well, we found throughout our years of marketing direct to seller that generally speaking, 10 to 50 units and 10 to 75 units are still owned by mom and pop landlords who have been in the business 20, 30, 40 years, who are more willing to negotiate off the market without brokers with real estate investors like ourselves. Now, what does this negotiation result in? Of course, being able to get properties under contract at a far lower price than someone would if they went and spoke with real estate brokers. So that's kind of the reason why we target the 10 to 50, 10 to 75 unit space. And also, we can compete much better in this space than we can in larger properties because we're not going up against the institutional quality buyer or buyers that can get a lower return on investment because they're borrowing at a cheaper rate and the loan sizes are significantly bigger. So that's another determining factor, and I would be happy to break it down even further if you wanted to schedule a one-on-one call, but we'll continue on with this video. So what are we looking for when we identify one of these two properties in this demographic? Well, first off, we want it to be in a good market. There needs to be market demand for the property. There needs to be market demand for rental spaces in the property. So we have to run some test ads, figure that out. But we also want to secure a property, if possible, that's below market rent. So generally speaking, say a landlord has owned a property for 30, 40, 50 years. They are not going to raise the rent as significantly or as structured as a investor who is in the business of cash flowing real estate such as us. So they probably haven't raised, if they've owned it for 20, 30 years, they probably haven't raised the rent in the last 5 to 10 years. Meaning there's a huge gap from the current market rate to what they are at. And that's what we're hoping to capitalize on and increase our net operating income, which I've talked about in other videos on this page. Along with below market rent, we want to pick up something that has some deferred maintenance. Now, what does this mean? Well, deferred maintenance could be anything from roof, windows, furnace, ACs. In mobile home parks, it could be the water, sewer laterals, paving of the roads, landscaping, cutting down trees, anything like that that the current owner has not taken care of. Because what does it mean for us? Well, we can stick our hard-earned money into the property to generate a higher return on investment, and we can negotiate a better deal with the owner because of all the deferred maintenance items. Generally speaking, say, because we run such a large operation, our contractors, our service providers are willing to cut us a deal versus a property owner who just calls them once in every blue moon. So that's why we love properties with deferred maintenance. Now, how do we go about finding these mom and pop owners or owners that have been in the business for a significant amount of time? The multiple ways are through cold calling. We try and cold call these individuals. We pull their information from public record. I speak with them. One of our guys speaks with them to see if they might have any interest in selling their property. If they do, we continue the conversation. But for those of them that we do not get a hold of via cold calling, we then mail them. We continue to mail them for basically eternity until they tell us to stop, take me off your list, or they no longer own the property. That is how long we continue mailing them. And then our last resource is typically, because there's so much competition in this space, is with brokers, trying to get off-market deals through brokers or even on-market deals, and then property managers. Property managers have been great for us in the past, But again, they are at a little bit higher retail rate than we would want to pay. And our bread and butter is really targeting the owners off the market to secure the best deal for ourselves and our investors. So this is, generally speaking, our system for finding properties. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to schedule a call to discuss more so passive investing in real estate or just how we do this, go to cartercrowley.com or click the link down below on this page and I can schedule a one-on-one call with you. About 30 minutes, we can talk about whatever you want or whatever you desire. And I would be more than willing to have a conversation. So I wish you the best of luck, and I'll talk to you soon.